What's up, guys? This is Rikk R Treat. So I'm gonna do a response video to my friend Anatheman von Stitchenstein's latest video entitled "Are the Misfits Ruining Horror Punk?" So first of all, I'd like to point out that I'm really stoked that Anatheman is still doing videos. His videos are a main influence on why I'm doing mine. Does a lot of similar stuff, or I'm doing a lot of similar stuff to how he was doing reviews, doing some interviews, talking about horror punk stuff. You know, he's doing a great job, or he's done a great job so far, and I'm stoked to see what's in stores, and I really appreciate what he's done for the horror punk community thus far. With that being said, I definitely commend him for this most recent video where he basically poses the question of are the creators of the entire genre ruining the genre? Now, if you haven't seen it, I'll link it down below so you can check it out first. But I think that once you get past the actual way the question is worded of are the Misfits particularly ruining the genre? Once you get past that actual wording and really listen to what he's talking about, it makes a lot of sense. So, just a little bit of details on his video. He says that, he saw someone's comment and it was basically saying the horror punk genre would be better without the Misfits. And it's really, odd to think about. They created it. They are horror punk. So there's no argument there. Even, that he was saying the same thing. But when he really thought about it, he looked into it. He found, all of these playlists and all these images, basically a lot of things about the community and the genre revolve around the Misfits. It's like Misfits, Danzig, Michael Graves, Doyle, all of those related bands. People think that that's what the entire genre is. And obviously, as he points out, there are bands like the Crimson Ghost, the Other, Calibres, and of course Blitzkid, which are like what he says day one bands. Like if you're in the scene and in the community, you should know these bands. You should know them. So the point that he makes, not so explicitly, is, or the question that he poses is, does a centralized sound of a genre ruin a genre? Does the cookie cut misfit band, does that ruin the genre? Because every genre is going to have a particular band that everyone's trying to sound like, and there are probably way too many bands that try and sound like that band. It happens a lot in horror punk. In this genre in particularly, a lot of bands either start out as Misfits cover bands or just sound way too much like them until a few albums down the line and they branch out, or they don't branch out, which really sucks because, as it was pointed out to me by a friend online, if you sound too much like the Misfits, people talk crap about you. If you don't sound enough like the Misfits, people talk crap about you. And that really sucks. Personally, I think that I am drawn more to bands that sound less like the Misfits within the horror punk genre. I like the bands that sound like them, and I like the bands that, emulate them, but I definitely resonate towards bands that bring a little bit more to the table. Maybe they sound like them in the beginning and then they branched out, like Blitzkid, like The Other, or maybe they never sounded like them to begin with, like the horoscopes that I pointed out last week. They sound more like AFI. They're still taking a sound or a really hard influence, but it's not the cliche Misfits influence. So my, main response to that video is, maybe, yeah, I would never say that the Misfits are ruining the genre, but I definitely think that the idea behind the video, um, it's definitely possible. Um, I had another friend mentioned that obviously there's going to be a central sound and a central influence to any genre, and that's what's going to keep people interested. That's what they're looking for that genre. However, as long as there's passion within the way they're playing, within um, just them as a band, then it won't be too derivative, or it won't be too cookie cut. It won't ruin anything, and I think that that's probably the best answer. Is a band can sound like another band, but as long as they're doing it with passion and having fun with it, and making the show fun, making it known that there's on their recordings that they're having fun. Just you can tell a passionate band from a non-passionate band, and I think that's the importance. So once there are too many bands that sound like the Misfits and are just doing it because they know they could make it in the scene, once that happens, then the scene is dead, I think. Um, what do you guys think? um, watch the original video and respond to his comments or respond to my comments. Are the Misfits ruining horror punk? Is a centralized sound for a genre what ruins it, or is it about passion? Like I said, let me know down below. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Please like. Please share. As always, I am Rikk R Treat, and this has been the Pumpkin Patch.